welcome back to my channel. My name is Jess. I'm not wearing the same sweatshirt I was in the last one. This is a Yapcast. I know we're doing a different little background, but that's because, hold on. I think you can see too much on the table. Don't look there. You know these are minimally edited, so. Ciao. Anyway, enjoy my rainbow shelves. Anywho, we have things to yap about. I have a note. I'm gonna set a timer, so I hopefully don't go over that. But again, these are very minimally edited, so it's not like I'm gonna put a whole lot of work into editing it. You know what? Words be playing with me. I'm gonna give myself 30 minutes, okay? Do you know that you have 30 minutes? 30, yes. If you know, you know. 30 minutes and go. Okay, so our first topic, millennial midlife crisis. So I've seen people discuss this, of course. I remember there was a TikTok and she was like, millennials, what's gonna be our midlife crisis? Like, and so many people stitched it like, we can't, you know, because we can't afford one. What we've stereotypically thought of midlife crisis in at least the United States has been like, I feel like it's usually associated with men and them going out and like, they get a divorce, they date a super young woman, they get a sports car. So people are saying various things, a lot of like crafting, gardening, basically things we can do and stay at home and do them. But I've seen a rise of marathon running, like signing up for a half marathon, a marathon. And I'm like, that may be the millennial midlife crisis. And I don't know what that says. That sounds terrifying. I don't want to fall victim to that, but I just wanted to ask that here. Fellow millennials, what do you think our midlife crisis is gonna be? Or is? Because I'm currently in crisis and I'm like, I can't afford a sports car. I also cannot afford a luxury vacation. I really wish I could. I'm counting down the days till I go to Ireland in October. But I'm like, it's not buying a sports car. It's I'm not getting a divorce, thank the Lord. So I don't know. I am trying to learn to knit. Is that my crisis? The crisis is that I realized my left hand I need to use a lot. It needs a lot of work. But I'm just curious. I want to know your thoughts. Next, let's talk about the price of eggs. I haven't bought eggs in weeks because I can't do it. Here in Louisiana or Southern Arkansas or East Texas, depending on your opinion, the cheapest eggs have been about $6 for a dozen. 5 something, but then you gotta add in tax, they're $6. Compared to other places, I know that's cheap, but I live in Louisiana, okay? $6 a dozen. So I have like 4 eggs maybe remaining. I think the last time I used eggs, I used them for my birthday cake because that was a good use. But every day I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna treat my, ooh, I'm gonna make myself some, because I really have been wanting some hard-boiled eggs. I wanted deviled eggs. I wanted egg salad, but I'm like, I can't do it. And really the price of everything. The price of Red Bulls went up. At least where I was buying them from. The price of cookie dough is crazy. Pillsbury. The price of yogurt. If I could even find my yogurt. Any of you hoes been taking my ratio vanilla yogurt, I'ma fight you. That's mine and I can't find it. I just like, and then you see the things about like Nebraska and like they produce a lot of corn and beef and wheat and soybeans. It's like, what do we what do we do? I know there's probably some really self-righteous vegans who are like, but shut up, okay? How am I supposed to get through life? I'm already suffering without eggs, and now you're telling me I may have to limit my beef? Like, what am I supposed to do about my chimichurri dense bean salad? That is like my lifeline. I make it once a week. It's not as good when you don't have flank steak in there. Oh my God. Am I not gonna have popcorn? What happens when I want me a little snacky snack, a little girl dinner? I need popcorn. Oh, I can't. That's it. I can't talk about that any longer. Okay, this is another thing. I've been on social media long enough to witness like the beginning of this, of people posting things on social media and people going online to look up their information and call their job. I feel like the first documented case was that lady who made a comment. I think she was flying to a country in Africa. I can't remember which one, and she made a comment about AIDS or HIV before she took off on the plane. By the time she landed, it was like, girl, you's in trouble. You're in trouble, sister. Okay? I feel like that was the first one. And so now there are instances where I believe it is warranted because some of these people will be presenting very harmful, dangerous things online, and then you know what kind of profession they're in, and you're like, oh, that makes it even worse. Some things I think is just people being like, I don't like you, I don't like what you said, so I'm gonna look up your place of business and try to get you fired. So I do not think that it is appropriate in all instances. I do think if you are employed, that you have to be careful, just conscious of what you say, how you present yourself, especially depending on what industry and what demographic of people you work for. So I think I say recently, it's been like since post-election. Some people on TikTok, it's been beef. It's just been back and yappa and yappa. And have I been watching a lot of it? Yes, because I'm like, okay, well, I could focus on what's really going on in the world, or I could look at this, like the macro things that they're talking about are bigger issues, but like if you're looking at like their beef between each other, that's not as big of an issue. And so I'm like, I can focus on this so I don't go into a spiral, you know what I'm saying? One of the people involved is I believe a licensed therapist and social worker. And he's often, or they, excuse me, I think their pronouns are they, them, has been in a lot of things, a lot of drama. And there are multiple other creators involved in this. But I think that people have been calling their job trying to get them fired. And so they posted like, why are y'all doing this? Like, you're trying to take my livelihood from me. I've worked very hard. And some people are like, well, this is what you get for coming online and having these opinions and talking to people this way. And it's like, maybe they didn't say the best things, but is it like worth someone losing their job over? And I'm like, I think we have to pump our brakes. I think we have to pump our brakes when we're on the internet. I have never done that, but I also don't have the energy all the time. Okay. But do they seem like a harm or a threat to the community that they work with? I don't know. Because when I say I have kept up with it, generally, but I mean like they be putting out a lot of videos, like all of them. I cannot keep up. But I think that we have to pause when we see something we don't like, because sometimes you just disagree with someone. That does not necessarily mean that they're being harmful or may cause harm to a group. You may just not like them. There's a lot of people I don't like, and I usually just end up blocking them. Okay. But I think that people are taking their dislike for a person or a disagreement on a topic to a new level that's dangerous, especially in this day and time when it's hard to get a job. Now, some people are really the pits of, they are the scum of the earth. They say disgusting things. They work with vulnerable populations. They work with children. It's very nasty. And I'm like, oh, well, you came on the internet and told us you were a nurse, but that you hate all of your patients who are in bare bodies, or you hate black, or you don't believe black women when they tell you they're in pain. Oh, okay. Now we're cooking with a little bit of grease. You're really showing your ass. But when it's more like interpersonal beef, and I know people have different opinions on this general thing that I'm talking about, I think we just have to be more careful, because it's like, this isn't directly related, but it's related, right? Like I've said this before in many videos, that America has done an excellent job in making us believe that we are better off as individuals. And so we already aren't in community with one another that much, right? Like online communities are important. We do need in-person communities though. So it's like, I think we should show care for one another in these instances, these trying times when the economy, the job market in the trash. Whether you're just disagreeing with this person and you don't like them, and is that enough for you to try to get them fired from their job, right? Again, it's not a simple thing. I think the people who are posting also need to be conscious of what they're saying. And like that, unfortunately, it is, depending on the person, sometimes easy to find where you're employed, even if you don't talk about it on the internet. But it's like, also we need to, it's like, pause. Is this really harmful, things that they're saying? Is this gonna be harmful for the place that they work? Or am I just mad? Cause me, a lot of the times, well, one, I don't even think about calling their job. I just don't have time, okay? For me, I try, and I do struggle with this. I try to listen to people who have different opinions than me. It is hard, okay? It is difficult for me, but I do try. But sometimes people may even have a similar opinion to you and you just don't like them. And that's what the block button is for. Trust me. Ray and Robin can tell you, I block any and everybody because they will send me a TikTok and I'll be like, I can't see it. I blocked them. And they'll say why. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't remember. You just pissed me off. You wear the wrong, your lip gloss is too. I don't like the way your eyebrow block. You could just simply do that. I don't like the way you're saying things in this video. I don't like the way block. I love it. I love blocking. Use the block button. I'm gonna stop. Okay, another more troubling thing. And I'm going to preface this by saying, content warning. I'm gonna be talking about bodies, weight, eating, food, weight loss, eating disorder. So you've been warned. 5, 4, 3, 2, what is this countdown? 1. Okay, apparently skinny talk is a thing. I've only heard about it. Actually, I guess I've seen a couple videos from people, but that's not like a hashtag I'm seeking out. That's not content that I am seeking out. I will say, however, I have been since July of last year making conscious efforts to change how I look physically through changing how I eat and working out. Been doing that consistently since July. And I have lost body fat and just weight overall. I have. And I will say that I do like my appearance a little more. And my clothes are not as tight. And also I was able to run 2 miles nonstop the other day. I mean, it wasn't fast, but I did it. And so I've noticed progress there, just in my cardiovascular capabilities and my strength, less pain in my mobility. But again, this is a combination of things that I've been doing. This is not just depriving myself of food because I loves to eat, okay? Anyway, just gonna say that. I think that it is okay to want to change your physical appearance, whether that's dyeing your hair, getting breast implants, getting a breast reduction, trying to lose body fat, weight, training for a bodybuilding competition, training for whatever. And I think all of these things you can do safely. And then there's ways you can do them unsafely. Anyway, back to skinny talk. There are some people who are really parroting things of like late 90s, early aughts. Like I have literally seen people quote things that were like Pinterest motivational things, or like when we saw in the magazines in those times, like nothing tastes as good as skinny feels. False. Have you ever had a chocolate chip cookie? Have you had funfetti cake? I'm just saying. Someone else, I distinctly remember saving this as a pin on Pinterest in probably like 2012. Do not reward yourself with food. You are not a dog. I saw someone said that on TikTok. And you know what? Fuck you. When I do hard things, I'm like, I'm having a cinnamon roll, or rolls, let's be honest. There's also this woman who has lost a significant amount of weight, and she posts TikTok saying lean is law. Like, I don't know what else she said. I just remember that one thing, like lean is law. There's all these people who are like, you've got to get 20,000 steps in a day. 10K, 10,000 steps in a day is already a lot. Okay? And it also is not like, there is not hard science attached to the 10K. Is it better to get more steps in during the day? Yes. But like 20, 30 steps is crazy. And some people are like, with the rise of the popularity of the walking path, like, well, you can just be on the walking path. Okay, also that's a lot. It's a lot of fucking time to be on that goddamn walking path. Maybe I don't want to. Maybe I don't want to go on a 5-mile walk outside, okay? So there has been a rise in this early aughts, late 90s thoughts around food and eating again, which is just going to cause eating disorders. It is, we've gone from that and, you know, very thin being the body ideal. We moved into like body positivity, fat acceptance, and now we're going back. And that's probably not a perfect timeline of things. But I remember growing up in that and seeing, you know, super thin models and all of the celebrities who were super thin. They were so thin. They were like a size 0 to 2. And the tabloids were still like, oh, there's an ounce of fat there. Oh my gosh. Like when people were like, when Jessica Simpson, that one where I think she had on those high-waisted jeans, if I can find the picture, I'll put it in here. And they were like, oh my God, she's so huge. Like when I look back at those things, when you look at like what was considered plus size on America's Next Top Model, Tyra, you will pay for your crimes. It is insane. So I have lived through that and grew up with that. And I will also admit here that when people, side note, people will talk about my Roman Empire, AKA the thing they think about constantly. Mine is my body, unfortunately, my weight. I grew up in that kind of thing where I was very thin when I was growing up. So then I got picked on for being too skinny. Then as I grew up, you know, so I gained weight. Then I was like, oh, you're gaining weight. So anyway, my weight, always on my mind, still to this day. I don't love it, but it's true. But so I've grown up in that, and there are so many people around my age, millennials, who grew up in that and have had or still have disordered eating because of that. Then we see this flourish. We see like people celebrating Ashley Graham and getting plus size models and things like this, and more inclusivity in spaces and clothing and in media representation. And now we're going backwards, where I've seen people talk about stores stopped carrying, who used to carry sizes above a 16, stop carrying those sizes. Hard to find clothing that's cute and not just looks matronly if they are a bigger size. And now there are, this just goes into a whole thing with like this whole like overall conservative rebrand we're going through. Cause I guess there's this clothing brand or online shop called Pretty Little Thing or something. I never shopped there, but I guess they used to have, it's like cute little things, dresses you might buy if you're going out, maybe going to the club or something like that. Lots of color. And now it's like modest and very muted colors. And so we're even just like, it's like we're going back to thin, conservative values. And it's actually terrifying to watch. And so again, while I am someone trying to make changes to my body, positive ones for me, and I do think if you want to do that, it's fine, I feel really uneasy with the rise of like the skinny conversations and like thin is in and skinny is the best that have been going on TikTok. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like it at all. Hold on. Two more things. Meghan Sussex, I think, has a new show. Of course, the people are mad because they don't like Megan because Megan's black. I think her show, I don't know how true the Netflix ratings be, but I feel like it's like in the top 10, whatever. And I think it's like her cooking and gardening with friends or something, and people are like, oh, I watched it and she's so boring and da-da-da-da. It's like, well, you still watched it. So you gave her a view. Now I was one of those people, okay, who followed the royals. Okay, in my youth, I was all about Prince William, and then he started to look like his father, and then it was like, ooh, Harry really came into his own. And then there's that picture of him at I can't remember what country he was in, but he was really looking at a black woman. You're like, ooh, and a lot of us were like, ooh, we got a chance. And then he gets engaged to Meghan. You're like, I never heard of Meghan Markle. I didn't watch Suits. I didn't know who she was, right? But I knew she was black. Do other people know that? I don't know if people really knew that. You know, like some people can be like, oh, maybe she's a very fair person, right? Her mother is black, her father's white. But it still was exciting. I was up. I stayed up or woke up. I forgot which one. And I was on the phone with my best friend. We were watching that royal wedding. Okay? Because I was like, okay, we got a black princess. However, here's my feelings about Meghan Markle. I don't give a damn. I really don't care about her. I have had to let my feelings or my fascination with the royals in general go. I still think it's fucked up how they've treated her because that she's a black woman. Because, you know, hello, our father, the UK, father to America with racism, they see one drop and they're like, it's a wrap. They were being concerned on how dark her children would look. Can you look at her mom, and then look at Harry? What did you think the kids were gonna look like? Me? Did you think they were gonna be like Wesley Snipes? Look, let's be real. Them kids they're very pale. I don't know what else to tell you. That they were concerned. It's just so ridiculous. So that, I do not support that foolishness, and I love, her existence makes them mad. I love that. However, I don't see her as like, sister, I'm so glad she's a rich woman, okay? And she has spoken before in like her interviews when they were doing stuff, and she was like, you know, as a woman of color, I'm like, girl, you're a black woman. Just say it. But I don't know if she sees herself that way though, so I don't see her as like a inspiration for me. That's never gonna be me. I'm never gonna be married to a prince of something, or I'm never gonna be a royal rich person who's got $1 million estates and security and something. I don't need to be. So there's just been conversation about her recently because of the show, and here come the haters, and then people who are like, I'm so glad she's thriving. I'm glad her show is doing well and stuff to piss off the racist people, but not because I'm like, yay, because it's just like, again, every day I get more disillusioned with people who have like super wealth. And she's not even like a 1%er, but you know, they're up there. Not a 1%er. They're not to the billions. So I'm just saying, like, you know, I don't know. And I saw a preview of the show. It does not, or not a preview. I saw like a clip of her making like a charcuterie board or something. And I was like, no, this is not for me. It's not for me. She's not somebody I would hang out with in real life. It's not for me. But again, happy that they're always pissing off the racist people. And I just find it funny that they were so concerned about skin color, and the glimpses that we've seen of those children. Them children look just like Harry. They got red hair. The hair looks straight. Don't look like not a kink, not a curl, nowhere to be seen. And they was so pressed. Lastly, this last topic is about transphobia, so just be aware. I just saw this thing, and it made me really mad. There is a black woman in the UK who is opening a women's only gym, and she was saying, like it looks really cute. Like I had seen some of her TikToks. She was like getting the windows out front to be tinted so people can't just like looking at women who are working out. And she had said online there's going to be a trans inclusive space. And I guess she was also raising money. I don't know how much money she raised. Now she posted. Funny, I saw these videos on TikTok. But apparently she posted a video on X, Twitter, which is very interesting, where she said that her gym is going to be a single sex only space, only for biological females. Interestingly, you posted that on Twitter. And so rightly, people are disappointed, they're upset. And I've seen a lot of videos about it because I saw the videos and then I was like, had to track down what this was related to. So then she posted a response video, this time on TikTok. Said, I have been SA'd, sexually assaulted, before by men. So I wanted a female-only gym. What that got to do with trans women? She was like, and I've spoken to other women who've also been SA'd and they want a safe space. What that got to do with trans women? And she's like, I spoke to trans women, I spoke to Muslim women, I spoke to, okay. Did you speak to one or two? That's not representative of, anyway. And she said, I wanted this to be a safe space really for females. That word makes me sick. She's like, I want to have self-defense classes and classes on like PCOS and training around our menstrual cycle. Again, I ask, what that got to do with trans women? Are you saying trans women don't want to take a self-defense class? Okay, maybe PCOS doesn't apply to them. They just wouldn't go to those classes. She just kept saying these things as if it was making her sound better or if it made sense. She was really doubling down. It's like, so I want a safe space because I have been assaulted by men. Again, what does that have to do with a trans woman? What? Luckily, so many people in the comments were very much like me, like what that got to do with them. There were some people like, we biological women deserve a safe space. I want us to pause because let's look at the data. And I don't have it here, but you know it exists. Statistically speaking, most of the time when somebody is assaulted, it is by a what? Cis man. Most of the time, okay? And guess what? They don't dress up. They don't pretend to be a woman to do that. They're not like, I'm gonna try to make myself look like a woman today to go into a bathroom to assault a woman. They will just assault a woman or a man. They just do that. They just have the nerve, the audacity. They don't need a disguise. They don't need to try to slip into a woman's only space to try to do that. They will just fucking do it in broad daylight, at night. They might know you. They might not. They don't really need a reason. And so it's just really, especially as a Black woman, when you've seen how obviously we have white or European beauty standards of what is considered feminine. And if you have PCOS, because that makes sometimes women have facial hair, or you may be more muscular in the way you're built, you're taller, you may naturally have more testosterone. We've seen it with Olympic athletes where they're like, are you really a woman? So it's like, you're being so loud about this being a female only space. What are you gonna be at the door? Are we gonna be showing, do we have to show like a birth certificate with our, are we doing a naughty bits check? No, you're not. So why are you so pressed about it? There are women who are more androgynous. Sometimes they may shave their head. Maybe they don't have a robust chest. And they're muscular. So what are you gonna be like, oh, you look like a dude, you can't come in here? What does that is so dangerous. You've seen how they've treated people like Serena Williams, Michelle Obama. I don't understand. I don't get it. But you know, it's not surprising because, you know, within the Black community, we have a lot of transphobia, just homophobia. Oh God, it's tiring. So I'm glad that I've seen a lot of videos disappointing in her, especially because she was saying it was going to be a trans inclusive space and raising money and then now going to walk it back. I'm just like, do you not think that trans women also want a safe space? Also want to work out amongst women, want to feel included? Are you trying to say they never get assaulted? Have you not been paying attention to the news? I just like that video, her video pissed me off because she just kept saying the same thing. Like, I've been sexually assaulted, so I want a safe space. Sickening. It is just, if someone wants to hurt someone, they're gonna do it. And a lot of times that is cisgendered men who will do it. And they don't need to slip in under the guise of being a woman. So if you're gonna have a women's only gym, I would expect that to include trans women. Because if not, then you're transphobic. Which she kept saying that she wasn't. Yes, you are. It's that easy. And I will say that she is young, because I think when she first started posting about her gym, she said it was like in 2020, 2021, and she was like maybe 21 then. So she's what, 24, 25-ish. So I hope that she listens to the responses from people in comments and in videos and realize how alienating this is and how transphobic it is. But very disappointing to see in the year of our Lord 2025. Very disappointing. Oh my God, you guys, I got 13 seconds. Wow, what a yap. Look at that. Anyway, would love to know your thoughts on any of the things that I said, but keep it cute, keep it respectful as always. Stay blessed, hydrated, moisturized, and sunscreen, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.